Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in to yet again another instalment at Anfield Road TV. If you are new around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. All the lads' social links on the panel are in the description, so please do head over, drop them a sub. Me, Doug, Spider, Kev, you know the score anyway. But chat, see you in a little second. It's going to be a cracker of an episode anyway. Let's run the credits. And we are live. Yeah, a bit of a Kev's having a little bit of a boogie. I hope you've all had a fantastic.
That's a nice tune.
Yeah, fantastic start to your Monday. Kev, how are we? Doug, we good?
Good.
Good.
Yeah, good, mate. Thank you very much for having me.
You're very welcome, gents and gentlemen, ladies watching from around the globe. Morning, night. Hope you have a fantastic start to your week as well. But the agenda for tonight. Show, of course, we'll be talking about the big game on Wednesday night for both sides, really. Obviously, West Ham. I will be having Jay from the E20 Zone TV. That's what the live stream will be out tomorrow at 7 p.m. GMT time. So if you don't get any notifications, there will be an episode live on the channel. Obviously, discussing the consistent. Hopefully, Liverpool can string a couple of runs together till now in the end of the season. Obviously, a bit of the Manchester City Arsenal talk. We'll delve into that as well, because that's obviously the biggest game in Europe anyway, as we know. Poch at Chelsea, looking very positive anyway on that front. And we'll speak about, obviously, the sacking of Tottenham at the back end of the show. How much of a bloody mess they are in. Kev?
Yo.
Liverpool, West Ham, massive game, as I said, for both sides. But we don't be speaking about Liverpool in tonight's episodes anyway, mate.
Yeah.
Recent weeks, we've improved. As I spoke to you, Ricky and Connor, a couple of nights ago. Much better by the Reds.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, by now we should have lost already to Forest, going on the form that we've had for most of the season. You win one, maybe two, take a draw, then you'd lose to Forest, and then lose or draw the next couple. So, but, you know, the fact that, you know, Forest were determined the other day at Anfield, and, you know, I'm just going to put down our defensive issues really to the lack of cover that we've had in front of the lads. You know, it gives it goes to show you how important Canete is, right? He played 13 games for us only so far this season, 13 games out of the season, and he feels like that he has to cover every position on the pitch. That's so you know, how much work rate he puts in on when he's playing. So the fact that he had to do all of that, step up at the same time, and then Verge was left on his own because the midfield doesn't drop back enough. You know, Jones is not a defensive midfielder, and Jones is not a defensive midfielder, and Fabinho can only cover so much. He's not at his prime. So, you know, until we get peak Fabinho back, if we ever get him back, you know, next season he needs this rest in the summer, the same as Verge. Unless we get him back, he needs that help in front of him. He hasn't been getting it, hence why we're getting so, you know, cut open through the middle of the park. But saying that, a win is a win. If that was us going back a few months ago, that would have been the 3-1 loss. Yeah. So I'll take that 3-2 all day long. The fact that Jota's back scoring as well when we need him to score is very important as well for us. It also puts his price tag up, like, you know, for to bring in, you know, if Jota's to go and we're to go in, ask him in, that'd be great, wouldn't it? But but you know, that'd be, but like, Jota's very important. He's a good goal scorer, man. You know, he's really good for us. Whether he suits Liverpool going forward or whether he's mainly down to a squad player, we don't know. Or, you know, they could look to cash in on him to really break the bank on people. I don't know, but he's the most obvious for me. Unless if rumours to be true that Klopp doesn't like Nunez, would you take a few bob for him? Nah, I wouldn't. He's going to be on fire next season. He's going to be on fire next season. But
what nonsense have you been reading there, Kev?
I'm just reading everybody else's nonsense.
Have you been reading Ricky's tweets? Have you?
I read whatever everybody else says. But look, West Ham, they've had their 2 wins in a row. Now they're happy and they're safe in the league, I think, at this stage, even though they do have tough games left. I just think the teams below them have tougher games at the same time. So I think they're happy, content. You know, Liverpool would be up. We're fighting for something in 4th spot. They're concentrating really on the same as Bournemouth the other day. Bournemouth just, you know, they're safe.
They'll be scrapping it out, mate. I was speaking to, obviously, Anton, obviously, from the West Ham fan channel as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, my good mate Bill. Bill, if you're around tomorrow, mate, you're very welcome to jump on as well. I'll drop you the link anyway this evening, and I hope you're keeping well, mate. Big up there, Andrew. Good evening, lads. Just watching Star Wars. Go ahead, Andrew. Who's that? John Annalisa. Love that. Is he a hero on the new FIFA? Interesting, Andrew. All right, Tom. How are we, Jordan? As well. Big up chat, everyone. Keep on getting your comments in. Got any questions for the panel or questions for anyone in the comments? And we'll pose them back to you anyway. But yeah, evening Bill. Big up everyone. Big up Shay. Hope you're well, matey. Stream is frozen. Not our end, mate. Yeah. Try resetting it. Should be all good. Gary,
we turn it off and turn it back on again. It always works.
Just give it a good old whack on the television screen. Gary, of course, mate. What you take us for? Yeah, probably finishing more trophies than certain clubs in the Premier League. Anyway, no comment. But cheers, mate. I'll be up for coming. Big up there, mate. Doug, West Ham, as Kev's alluded to, spot on there in relation to the consistency. First and foremost for Liverpool, it's not been there, as we know. We have been very Jekyll and Hyde, the Robin Hoods of the Premier League. I call us. We'll take points from the majority of the top 6 sides, but it's been the teams down there at the bottom, as Kev said. The set piece was an absolute disgrace against Forest. Yes, you can talk about deflections and all that, but not getting the rub of the green. But we know what type of game it's going to be on Wednesday night, mate. And they are going to be throwing missiles into the box, crossing from deep, and they're going to do absolutely everything. We've seen with Alisson Becker get absolutely... it's fair game. I think you see that in Sunday League every single week anyway. But what are your expectations going into tomorrow evening's game, Miss?
I think we're facing the West Ham side that is just getting back into form ever so slightly. They've scored 10 goals in their last 3 games. 4 against Bournemouth, which was quite extraordinary. I did not expect them to go to West Ham and go to Bournemouth and win 4-0. But obviously 4 against Ghent, obviously the 2 against Arsenal as well. So they are getting goals, and the thing I like about West Ham is that they seem to be sort of spreading the goals, because you saw obviously Paqueta got one, Antonio got one, I think Rice got one, and obviously Fornal's scorpion kick, I believe it was as well. Yeah, this is going to be a very difficult test. We all know what happened last season. The fact is, actually, we did actually lose there 3-2. I think that was actually our first league defeat of last season, if I seem to remember. But yeah, we know what's going to happen. They are a very, very physical side. Zuma, Antonio, they've got some good flair players there. Bowen. I like Paqueta. I think Paqueta has had a lot of criticisms. Yeah, very, very talented. Yeah. But you look at the World Cup. He was one of Brazil's bright sparks in the World Cup. I know Brazil weren't that great. But when you watch Brazil, I think Paqueta was one of those very, very good players. So I'm expecting a very, very tricky game tomorrow. And I think one more win for West Ham will keep them safe. And then it's just all about the Europa Conference League. It's going to be a very tricky game on Wednesday, definitely.
Yeah, I'm obviously not just saying because Bill's in the comments or me Hammer's mates. I'm wanting them to do well. Obviously, last year's magical journey in Europe, that's what it's all about, being a football fan. And I think they've got every opportunity to win it. Not to put the pressure on Bill or the Hammers that listening. You'd anticipate the quality in West Ham side to very much do it.
I'd much rather West Ham were in form and coming at us rather than sitting back and getting defensive, because we don't like playing against defensive teams. We're much more comfortable playing against an attacking side or a side that tries to attack us anyway, at least. So I think it's good. And another thing for that, I remember people were talking that Klopp doesn't trust Nunez's positional nous or something. Did you see the video with Henderson telling him to get off of Gibbs' White? And he was like, he's there. I can see him. I can take him. And then he was like, no, go over there. And the volley came in, straight afterwards. So Darwin spotted the danger before anybody else. Haven't you? No. Henderson. Darwin was telling him, I'm sticking with this guy, and he was like, no, go over there. And when he went over there, 2 seconds later, he scored a volley. So yeah, it was. About that.
That'll be getting replayed in the tactical office.
Yeah. As a captain, especially, trust your team. That's one of these ones where you say, Jard, trust your teammates. He spotted the danger, whereas you were spotting the positional sense. So maybe sometimes just allow somebody to do what they're good at, which is like defend at the edge of a box instead of, being put in a position where he's useless, really.
Yeah, so you're getting text by Jurgen Klopp there, lads. Keep on looking at your phone.
Or me? No, I'm writing notes. I literally said Hendo Nunes.
Oh,
yeah. I'm writing down little topics. Yeah. Sorry.
Good, no, it's all good, mate. All good. Consistency, Kev. We'll go back to you as well. Obviously, I get Doug's thoughts on this. It's for me going into the game on Wednesday night. I just obviously we'd like to be picking and choosing, but as we've always said, we're not in a position really, in all honesty, that Liverpool can start and stop games. I'd just like us to finish this season well. If we win our next 7 games, we get top 4. We get top 4. We don't. But it's just about building that strong foundation. How important potentially for you could that be going into Wednesday night?
Yeah, there's a pressure on everybody. I don't think there's too much pressure on West Ham though, because I think them winning the last few games did us kind of a favor, because as you said, Doug, they only need 1 win from the last few games really to be safe.
Yeah.
And I think the other teams below them have a much harder task. So I think that they, in their head, in that dressing room, they were thinking, "Oh, we've got Liverpool coming up there, we've got that team coming up there. Let's try and get results in these 2 games beforehand." And then, at least we know we're out of that kind of area now where there's a relegation or getting sucked. Because we were talking about this last week, even on your channel, they were in danger of getting sucked into that relegation battle.
Yeah.
And if they didn't get a result in the last 2 games before they came to us, then it could have been way worse from after this game got up. But I think they're in a much more comfy place, and they're needing 1 win. They'll always come. Like, no team is going to go not play and win. But I'm just saying that because it's Liverpool that they're playing against, and not, let's say Bournemouth the other day, they went at them. They went at Bournemouth, they played well. And because it's us, they can see it almost as a buy. I think most of these teams from mid-table don't see it as a buy. They always want to get, that larger team news. They want to get that win. Yeah, they want to get that win. But it's at this stage of the season, man, where they have to protect themselves to win that Europa League. And players have to protect themselves, I think. So I think they'll just go, they'll pick and choose their battles. But, I'm not saying the players don't want to win. I'm just saying that they'll be more tactically sound rather than gung-ho this time. Yeah. So I'm expecting us to be on form in here, and I'm hoping to see, we'll talk about starting 11s in a while.
Yeah, it's all good. All good. It's mad, isn't it, Doug? Obviously, you jumped in. Obviously, the comments we made Jay as well. In terms of the Hammer lot, they've had a very similar season to Liverpool. Of course, they were all asking me what's happening with Liverpool, and I'm like, we all can't really put. It's not just down to one thing. It's down to obviously a lot of factors, really. But it's mad, really, in terms of the inconsistency for both West Ham and Liverpool, really. And what you put down to. Before we get into everyone's comments as well, check keep on getting your comments in, absolute legends. Make sure you are smashing that like button as well. Really the inconsistent nature, really. The mentality for me, we've mentioned obviously playing into form into next year as well, not just finishing up sharply this year. But what you put that down to, really, not just from a Liverpool perspective, really, but in terms of West Ham's mentality in going to game. Obviously, for every opposition, for the bigger ones, as Kev alluded to, you're of course going to be raising your level, but that really shouldn't be the case for either side.
No, absolutely not. I think as well for West Ham, and the fact that they've had a 6th place, they've had the 7th finish place in the last 2 seasons, which is absolutely magnificent, to say the very, very least. It's amazing that they've got back into another semi-final. I think they've been very, very good in that aspect. I think the Conference League form has been better than the Premier League form. And I just think as well, like, there was a stat going around, I think it was a wee while ago, I think that West Ham, had something like, I don't know if this is right or not, 18 wins in 16 months, like that. That is not good form at all when you think about it. I'll be honest, I had West Ham top half. I had them in possibly those Europa League places. Yeah. I thought that they were going to sort of build on from the last 2 seasons, and it just hasn't obviously quite happened this season. And I think as well, like some of the signings that they make, like Paqueta, I think is now becoming a very, very good player. I think the criticism he's got is very, very unfair. Danny Ings they've brought in. I think that was a very, very good signing when they
Good
brought him in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Would you say like 3 seasons too late in terms of?
I would say so.
Anton and Jay before, and even obviously Bill in the comments as well for the last couple of years. West Ham have massively missed that, not replacement for Antonio, but in terms of depth. Obviously, Skamaka's come in, not really hit the ground running. Haller under Moyes, another talented player, but Moyes couldn't quite get the best out of him in that West Ham system.
Yeah, as well. Guerd, they brought him in. I think he's been a good signing. I think he's the only thing with him. I think is fitness. But again, we also at the World Cup what he could do for Morocco. He was very, very good there. West Ham have a very, very good team. The only thing is, I think people know how to play against them. I think people have kind of worked out David Moyes' tactics, and I don't think he's had the sort of the brain to sort of change it up a little bit. I think he's been too predictable. Yeah. And when you look at like people, the West Ham faithful, I think the majority of them probably want Moyes out because of obviously, I think the league form has not been great. But I think as well, I think
he's such a poor manager though, Doug. I was saying this to the lads before. Tactically, it reminds me a lot of Rodgers. Like, he doesn't learn. You look at Eddie Howe at Newcastle. He took a sabbatical. He took it like a couple of months out, a year out, to actually go back to his roots, really, and analyse his game. But this is a game, as you said, mate. This is a game where West Ham, against the big boys, will step up, really, mate. But you're spot on there, mate. Everyone smashed it in the comments. You know what I'm like with the comments. Try my best, obviously. But we go 20 minutes in, and then I've got about 1 million comments. Absolute legends. But we're starting to play like our old selves again, Bill. It should be a belt of a game on Wednesday. There'll be a lot of goals, Bill. I'll tell you that now. I don't think any of us will put our mortgage on both teams keeping a clean sheet, in all honesty. Big up there, Anton. Hope you're well, matey. Massive thank you for having me on. Obviously, the West Ham Network, their social link will be going out tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow morning anyway, so keep an eye on their socials. Just a little good little preview with the lads, which is good as always. As Andrew said, Salah, Nunes, Jota, with Gakpo playing left centre mid on Wednesday. Interesting, that, Andrew.
That's what I was having. That's what I've been saying for weeks. I would play him and just that higher bit to the two lads sitting on the left hand side. I think he's perfect for there because he likes driving at players. I think he's useless when he's through the centre up front. Not useless, Jesus. He does well, but I think he does his best work when he comes from that position back. He receives the ball and then has link-ups play or drives at people up there, So and coming from that left hand side as well, he could be working with Diaz a lot.
Yeah, I'd say he's probably it's flipped that with Nunes though, mate. I'd say that's good. He's so good at doing every job, really. Gakpo is Bobby Firmino's long-term replacement, but it was mad that majority of our fan base were writing him off after 3 games, weren't they?
I don't know. I seen what he was doing straight away, man. The way he wins almost every header, and he heads it down perfectly to another player. So he's fantastic. All right, Eamon. And look, I just think that him sitting behind Diaz and Nunes directly in a triangle behind him, I think is a perfect position for Gakpo. I think like he not only can he interchange with Luis Diaz and leave him come in and he can move out, but he can do the same with Darwin there. And I just think him there would be, if you started playing him in that position, you probably need it, as I said, and bring Trent forward into that defender role. You could. You probably go for 2 good midfielders and then just have everybody battling for places. Yeah. And I think that's good competition right there.
Definitely. Spot on. Eamons. All right, Jack and Kev. All right, Eamons. Hope you had a good Monday, mate. Anton said, we need this win more than ever for a reason of momentum, which has been our biggest issue this year. Is all your mates. Everyone say aye.
Yeah. That's just like us. That's just like us, Anton. That's definitely like us.
Yeah. Hello. How are we, Rob?
Hi, Rob.
Well, matey. Scouse.
Hey, Rob.
We got mates. Good to see you in the chat as always. I'd keep it the same back 4 and same up top, but I would play. I would try Barella Kudos.
Jack was like, you were so concentrated on reading it. Yeah, you thought it was a serious question. You were so concentrated on reading it out, but he just realized Barella, because it's just, in Jack's head, Barella's already a Liverpool player.
He is.
He's a Liverpool player for you.
I'll be very disappointed if Liverpool don't get me on the media team to unveil. I'd even learn Italian for you. Won't be quite Joey Barton-esque, but I'll try my best. But yeah, big up there.
Barella, Scorchio.
You know me, chat. I've got to be very careful. I don't really I just bring up the comments anyway. But our form in the Premier League has not been the great since 2022. Big up there, mate. We can't handle chaos type games. West Ham will be another one. We might scrape it. Definitely there, Eamons. Ings is a good signing, but defo a panic sign that hasn't really adjusted to our system.
How's his injuries been for West Ham?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Anton, let us know. I think he's had a couple of injuries.
Yeah.
Big up there, Russ. Russ disappointed again. Use better win. We'll be speaking about Man City Arsenal in a little second, anyway, in about 10 minutes. Doug has it spot on about Moyes' tactics.
Yeah.
Definitely, mate. We see Moyes to get better of David all those years losing with Everton. However, the Hammers could hurt us with dodgy again at the back. Definitely, mate. I watch a lot of West Ham, and they have a kind of reputation. Recaptured their set pieces that used to make them very dangerous. Sorry, chat. I know I'm dyslexic, but I'm very tired. I've done about 4 shows today. Should really have my glasses on. The battle of midfield definitely there. Kev, on that little final point as well, we've been out midfield.
Yeah,
even if that's a word. We've been absolutely slapped up in the midfield a lot of times, especially in particular away from home. We can't allow that to happen on Wednesday night, can we, mate?
No, we kind of nipped it in the bud a bit. And I think, the discovery of how good Pochettino is in the midfield as well kind of cancelled that thought in our head for a little bit, because it was just I was sick of just seeing people going, buy a midfield. We know it. We can't do it right now. It's not being done in January. We can't do it anymore. And then Pochettino came in. He was a breath of fresh air. And obviously, he's injured now until next season. But, I think it gave the lads in our midfield a kick up the arse as well. Because Fabinho's been playing slightly, but he's still going to have little... Look, let's call a spade a spade. He's at 65% of where he was. So he's missing that 35% of world-classness that he had all the time. But I put it in the same ilk as Van Dijk, and that just tired mentally, just trying to get through the season, to be honest with you. But lads that say they get paid millions will say that there's no excuse for it. But for me, I would... We'll talk about I can't get into this until I talk about the starting 11 in a minute.
So right, we got 4 minutes. We got 4 questions, and then we'll get straight into it. And die into I can sense. Right, we'll quickly get through these comments, and we'll go back to Kevin and obviously Doug as well. You bang on about Moyes, obviously relating to what you mentioned there, Doug. As a manager, he's never been able to play a possession-based style, and we need someone like that as our new manager with the players we've got now. Obviously, West Ham historically have always had such a great academy, and you know it, Andrew. I'll be pulling up with years. The videos are done like 4 years ago. Me crying my eyes. I want them to get it. True there, Rob, but you know me too well. All right, in terms of injuries, but Slade not playing every week. In relation to Danny Ings, anyway, I'm going to enjoy West Ham sandwich on Wednesday. Big up there, Doug. Big up, mate. West Ham got 12% sign on fee. I wish ODL might actually get a bit more of a better camera angle in my studio, in my bedroom, more like. Starting 11s chat. Obviously, for the Hammers, lads, get your starting 11s in the comments. If you are watching on the VP, let us know. Kev, starting 11 for you. For me, anticipate Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp to go unchanged, but would you change it?
Yeah. I think with the little cameo that Diaz made when he came on the other day, he's looking fairly sharp. I would try and get him an extra couple of minutes. No, Jurgen Klopp, and what is with him in recent season, he tends to give players just 20 minutes for about 5 or 6 games in a row. Whereas, before, he used to come on if they played 2 appearances and then they'd start the game or something like that. So we know that Diaz has had a serious injury, but I'm going to go with what I hope I see on the pitch. Not what I think Jurgen Klopp is going to go with, because I think we'll all say he'll probably not change the team too much. So, look, what I hope to see is the backline unchanged. And I leave it at that with the goalkeeper. He speaks for himself. The midfield, this is where I'm kind of stumped a bit. I don't know whether he starts. It's either Thiago starts or Diaz starts. He's not going to start them both, I don't think.
I'll probably cut that, but like in terms of Kev sound effects, we'll have that for this season. We've all said that because we have to pick out midfield. It's like, who do we pick?
I don't know. No, Fabinho is going to play in there. I think you can nearly. You're kind of glad that he's okay for this game. He might be, but Fabinho not being able to tackle is a problem. If he gets that yellow card, he's missing against Spurs. I'm kind of not too bothered if he's missing against Spurs, really. If we've got Henderson and Thiago in there to deputise.
Lads, and chat, Spurs are turning up playing like prime Barcelona, don't you? In a couple of days.
Well, I think we need to. I think we need to pass. I think we need to pass past Spurs. To be honest with you, but no, I'd say Fabinho, Henderson, and I want to see Gakpo on the left hand side of that midfield, just slightly forward from the other two, because I think they can drop in. I know that it's going to release Henderson a small bit because Trent is going to come up into that inverted role. So it's going to free up. I don't think we need the extra body in midfield. I think we need Gakpo in behind the lads. I think I want to see Diaz. And I know Jota's on form. I kind of want to see Nunez start this game. It's midweek, because we might see Jota start on the weekend. But Nunez and Salah is what I would see. And that's what I would like to see on the pitch at the moment. Like, by an extra choice, Thiago maybe over Henderson, but we need a fighting tackling midfielder in there, and Thiago's not that guy. So Henderson's the guy that covers bases and helps Fabinho. Even if both of them are at 65% of what they can do.
Yeah, it's possible, mate. It's the height difference as well, though, chat. Everyone listening, like, they are the land of giants. So I was saying to the lads, we've struggled with set pieces. We've scored quite a lot in previous seasons. We're good at them. Hence the back of the game of the Forest, which was mad. Because how many times have we seen, not just Liverpool fans, but the majority of whoever you support, the most frustrating thing in football is a set piece hitting the first man. It's like, oh my, these are professional footballers. Surely you can get it at least into the 6-yard box. Doug, would you concur with Kev? Chat, get your starting 11s in anyway. Let me know who you'd start. I'm unchanged. Kev's had a couple of tweaks. What are you saying, Matt?
I can see 1 or 2 changes. I've got to be honest. I think it'll be Ali, Trent, Kanate, Van Dijk, Robertson. I don't think that changes. We don't really have anybody but Fabinho, so I think Fabinho will play. This is the change I'd make. I think Curtis Jones, that wasn't the kind of game for him at the weekend against Nottingham Forest. Just where like everything was sort of like really like passing around, and I think Curtis Jones is more sort of creative, and I think that wasn't his kind of game at the weekend against Forest. So I think he will come out. I'm going to go Thiago to come in. I think Thiago will come in. I think Henderson will keep his place as well, even though that barking orders of Nunez, that was ridiculous.
I need to watch that. I completely missed that this week.
Yeah.
Just show a chat in a minute.
I'll probably get done for copyright law.
Nah, it's media.
This is where I'm going to say, even though Jota's scored 2 goals, do I see him getting dropped? I don't see it. I really don't see it now.
It's the in thing. Sorry, there though. It's the in thing to say now, since he's got a back-to-back double. Like, everyone that did criticize Jota this season, the people that are saying, "Oh, how dare you did criticize him?" But he was playing bad at the time.
He was.
Like, people are allowed opinions. It's like, oh, because you slagged him off this season. It's always the saying, like Van Dijk. Like, people are saying Van Dijk's had a shocking season, and he's still thinking that the World Cup's on the horizon. He's playing like that. But yeah, sorry there, mate.
No, I'm sort of going back to sort of the Leeds game where like Jota in that first half was really, really poor. Gave the ball away, I think 7, 8, 9 times, and then he got
It
into
was
it, and then
15
obviously
times.
15 times. Wow.
15 times, yeah.
And obviously he got the goal as well, which was good to see. But at this moment in time, I just don't see him being put back to the bench. I think it's going to be Jota, Gakpo, and Salah again. I don't think Curtis Jones starts this game. I think we go with Fab, Thiago, and Hendo in the midfield, and I think it's the same sort of front three. So for me, I think it'll be one change to the starting 11. I think Thiago in for Jones.
Well, cup of tea's arrived on time there, Kev. Happy days. But we'll get to everyone's comments as well. Get your
Everybody knows who owns this cup.
Navigator. I don't know. Navigator. But chat, we'll keep on getting your comments in. Get your starting 11s in as well as any hammers in the chat. Let us know yours from your point of view. Big up there, Matthias. Hope you're well, mates. Liverpool used Robinson as a hybrid left back / DM to allow Trent to get into the new midfield position, which he has given 4 assists in 2 games. Obviously, for Trent, still isn't perfect as goals keep slipping in. Yeah, Matthias, of course, it's a new role for him and a new role for the systematic change potentially for Liverpool. As we've seen in recent weeks, it's working. But I think once we get down to the nitty gritty, really, and in terms of actually analysing Liverpool's game, we'll be sound. We'll be all good. Good to see you in there, Carl. Hope you're well, mate. A very good month start to your Monday, mate. Thank you for tuning in. I was studying the heat map on players from the Nottingham game, and I was stunned by Robbo's new positioning. Definitely, mate. We'll definitely do a couple of shows on that. Obviously, a lot of people on YouTube have done some great insight in terms of the new formation tweaks. It's going to be intriguing in the next couple of months and even the next part of the next 12 months anyway, how Liverpool do evolve into this new system, because we've all been, everyone on the panel and everyone around the world, up and down the land, Liverpool needed to have done something this season. Of course, in the window, but sometimes you can't really, what is it, Kev? You can't really do everything in the window. You've got to look internally to potential changes.
Yeah, no, you can't do everything in the window. Look, we know there's going to be wholesale changes coming in the summer. But that's it's everybody on the planet knows that's coming, and it's whoever's going to try and steal the most money off us. Really, is what's kind of the way it's going. But look, Robertson, he needs real competition there on the left back as well. I don't mind Tsimikas. He's a good player when he gets his game, but the problem is he's not getting enough game time, and people tend to become desperate. People don't know, so this person's not great. Yeah, this person's not great because he's not playing. He's brilliant when he was playing regularly, and that's what happens to players when they're not playing regularly. Which is why I kind of went with the assumption that maybe you might see Darwin Núñez get a start in this, mainly because to take on West Ham's height and tire out West Ham defence, so that if Jota comes on later, he can nick one. And because he's in form at the moment, and what would you do? You would keep that weapon poised and ready, because if he's going to come on, he's going to be out muscled and ganged up on by tall defenders and tall midfielders. Then you might as well wait until Núñez, Gakpo, Diaz, and Salah have tired him out of it, and then you bring on him fresh as a daisy to score a goal. So that's what I'm trying to think what way would Klopp would go, and would he play? Would you start Núñez and just want to try and give him a run of form into games? Because he's been scoring when he's playing. It's just he needs a start really. So that was my logic into thinking why I would like Gakpo to be moved into that upper left midfield position. Because if as you say there's a hybrid DM or inverted right back in Trent, then that's already a packed midfield. So we don't need that extra midfielder in there like that Curtis Jones type player, because Gakpo can do it anyway by receiving the ball and driving at people, and he'd probably do it with a bit more conviction. So whereas Jones will probably he's probably a half a fidget spinner. He likes to turn around quite a bit and then play the ball backwards, is what I found about him. So he's been playing well and he's been doing well, but and he hasn't been running with the head down as much. But
He's improved massively.
He's improved slightly. Yeah, well, slightly. I would say massive. I would say slightly, in my opinion, because I think for Liverpool, he's at the long enough that he should be at a level now where he's really pushing for a first team spot. He's been there he been played 4 seasons now. So he needs to be pushing on now, or he's just going to be a squad player. So yeah, for me, that's why we play Gakpo in that position. There's no point in buying a player like Gakpo if he was just to cover for Luis Diaz, and then you don't give him game time when he is clearly really good at winning the ball, retaining the ball in the midfield, and then driving forward with the ball in the midfield. He's better there. You can see in the games that he's been brought off, he's been playing centre forward.
Yeah.
And the games that he haven't been brought off is when he's been dropped back from the left hand side. So that tells you straight away there, play Gakpo.
That'd be Carnage. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Be Carnage.
Diaz, Nunes, Gakpo and Salah.
Gakpo.
Them boys, Salah will be just open all the time at the back post because everybody will be watching them three in that triangle.
Especially if we can get a cohesive unit, as you said, mate, at the back. If we actually sort our house, get our house in order next season from the defence. As we all know, defences win titles. And if Liverpool can sort out the back, obviously we know the midfield, defending from the front, the high line and everything. I don't think we'll be as high if we played 3 centre-halves next season. I think it's really a car crash waiting to happen anyway. You've got to have the right, as Kev alluded to there. You've got to
Pochettino's just coming back as well. Just buy 2 good midfielder, really good midfielders, and buy a good centre back, and then try and salvage a semi-good right back there. Just for games where we really need defensive right back. So, and I think you're laughing. It's not as bad as what it is because we were thinking that halfway through the season it was going to be 3 or 4 midfielders we're going to have to buy, but it's not. It's Pochettino just showing that there's a shining light there. I think it's somewhere of rest for Fabinho, and Henderson makes him really well. Fabinho back to his form, and Henderson a really good backup for whoever comes in. So it's not as bad as what we think, lads.
No, I think all of us are glued. We'll be glued to our phones. In terms of the summer window, there'll be lots of shows, of course, from everyone. Really, transfers. I do miss my transfer videos. I know I haven't been as consistent on them over the last couple of years. They do bang because everyone loves a cheeky transfer rumour. But I'll be jumping on that bandwagon even more this season, of course. Trying to get Jude Bellingham in every single title we do. But yeah, I'm definitely there. Carl wouldn't play. Wouldn't play to the same team 3 games in a row. I mean, can't see Hendo physically playing. It's a good point there, Carl. Scouts, I think that's a word we might have to ban off the channel. Milner. I love him. We all love him, but Milner playing in 2023, he should be a coach, in all honesty, or should be getting his fully coaching badges. I'm still ready to sell Jota to Newcastle, even though he's been good. Just want someone who can stay fit. And Rob and Chap and Bano, we've seen this in the past. Not just at Liverpool, but in terms of certain clubs, if you can get a player back into form and make it out as if he's back into the setup of the starting 11, a lot of teams will be going, will be money. Definitely in there. FSG's officers anyway. Have I got the...
Now, let's not take the piss here. I certainly wasn't. Well, I think you...
Oh, that's FSG. Like when Jürgen goes, do you want to quit? But yeah, big up there, Mark, dropping in everyone's comments as well. I would scald
himself. We were talking about the tea. He said, "Is that Kate?" He said, "No, Naby would have scalded himself." Yeah,
is that definitely not Rob? Yeah, you would be drinking a cup of tea anyway. Agent Mark, big up there, mate. Big up Niall as well. Now, if you're available on Wednesday night, I'll drop you the link anyway, mate. I know you'll be busy with your shows, but you're very welcome to jump on after the final whistle, mates. I would like to see Darwin and Elliott start. Interesting, yeah. Definitely, mate. It's the thing. We've got a lot of quality. And I think, as we've already spoke about this week, I think with Elliott, it's good that we're not running him into a brick wall like we've done with Fabinho for the past 4 years or 5 years. We can't be doing it. Considering the injuries come back with Doug as well, that could have had such a detrimental impact on his, not just for this season, but in terms of his overall developments. Because you look at Rashford, yes, he's had a good season, probably one of the best he's had in a long time. but for like 12 months prior, past that, he's been decimated with injuries, and that's due to him bursting onto the scene, similar with Elwyn, and we all know the players. If you could pick a youngster that's broke onto the scene, but would you class it as good in-game management from Jurgen, not just completely throwing Elliott in, because he's featured the most for Liverpool this season.
Yeah, he's been brilliant this season. Most of the games that he's played in, he's looked really, really good. And I think at the start of the season, he was kind of a bright spark almost. We all know the horrible injury he got at Leeds, and I think as well he has been really, really good. So I wouldn't be against him starting tomorrow. I really, really wouldn't. But is it the kind of game for him? I think he starts against Spurs, actually. I could see him start against Spurs.
Yeah, will be interesting. Definitely, mate. Definitely. That's why I just like Naby. He's chose to leave on a 3. Could have recouped some of that money. He just doesn't care. It's the true, mate, isn't it? That's the thing. It's the risk you do run in terms of buying any 60, 70 million pound player anyway. I think with Darwin Núñez, you would get your money back, especially when we sold him back to a Portuguese team or any of he's Uruguayan. He's an senior international. Not that I'm saying get rid of him. I love him. He was top of my priority list. I come out of that ground when we played Benfica in the knockouts. I'm like, I want this lad. I want him because he turned up to Anfield and scored about 4 or 5 goals. But yeah, 2 or 3 of them were offside. But it's been a very long time since I've seen Liverpool's back line get absolutely skimmed by just a young lad from Uruguay. I was like, oh, he's a little bit of a special player. It'll be good. Once he starts banging in goals, it'll be good. Russell, which he's already doing, by the way. Big up there, Russell. Yo, lad. All right, lad. How are we? There. But yeah, RIP Glenn Goodman. Len Goodman, has he passed away? Oh, bloody hell.
That was a complete shock. I was literally in work, and I was just sort of like doing my work on my laptop, and I saw out the corner of my eye, I had a notification from my mum. It was as well, and she messaged, Len Goodman has died. I was like, what?
Is he the Strictly?
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Strictly.
He used to be Strictly Come Dancing head judge. He was also on Dancing with the Stars in America.
By the way, chat, I do not watch that. It's only because me ma. So yeah, all of our mans or your fiancés or your girlfriends or what, or your sisters. Yeah, no, I don't sit there on a Saturday night because I'm too busy watching the footy. But yeah, so RIP.
Not a clue.
Yeah,
not a clue. RIP the lad, but not a clue.
Google him, Kev. Google him, Kev.
Yeah.
You'll probably know his face anyway. But yeah, big up there. Gas clock roasting, but yeah, his English was on point.
Oh, he's an old fella.
But yeah, Niall, I'm pretty sure you see in the video me, Owen, Kev, and obviously Ricky. After seeing Saicedo at the semi-final, he is the only midfielder I want.
He was excellent.
He was
absolutely excellent.
And McAllister as well.
Just get them both. They both complement each other so well. Just get them both.
Yeah.
Spiders are you Strictly fan?
Oh yeah. There we go. Spiders are Strictly fan. Pass it on. But yeah, we'll segue. Let's be in this. We'll segue into the little section, obviously the Manchester City Arsenal game for this. Well, I'm fuming, Kev.
Yeah,
that this game is on at the same time. Well, I mean it's on like at 7, but we're live at like 7:45. Ridiculous.
8 o'clock, isn't it?
Yeah, I think our game. Yeah, 8 o'clock kickoff. BT, which is a bit mad. All the games are on BT. But Kev,
all midweek games are BT.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah,
it's all of them. Yeah.
Well, I'd say how big's this game, Rusty? If you're still in the comments, it's the El Clasico, the English El Clasico. It's been a very long time since Arsenal have had a game of this magnitude. We've seen them rock up to Anfield a very long time ago in '89 to win the league. They've done it in 2002, and they've done it in, when was it, 1998?
Yeah. 1988 was the double. Yeah, they did with Wenger's first one. But yeah, look, for me, Arsenal have to look at Liverpool's 2013 or 2014 season. And it came down to around the same time where we played Man City and beat them 3-2. But we had problems then after that. They're after having their problems already, but they're still on top of the league right now. And they'd have to look at this as a way, all right, we beat City. And don't get me wrong, we know City can be great on their day, but they're not as good as what they were a couple of seasons ago. If they didn't have Haaland in the team this year, I don't even think City would be in the top four, I'll be honest with you. Because De Bruyne was poor at the start of the season. City played only long balls to try and find Haaland. They completely changed their style of play to underlapping runs. They completely changed it. But then, teams, once they do, I think they took the kind of a leaf out of Real Madrid style of tactics where they drop their midfielders a bit deeper and then just control the game from there and annoy them. So when people step out to them, they just bypass them all the time. So they changed their style. And I mean, that's brilliant tactics from Pep. But yeah, for me, if City didn't have Haaland's goals this season, they wouldn't be where they are challenging. I think Arsenal would have been probably walking the league at this stage, in the form that they've been in. But they just have to go and take a note out of what we did in 2013, 2014, beat them, and just don't lose Jordan Henderson at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And they're laughing because he was having probably his best season ever for Liverpool then in an attacking midfielder role. And him losing
that was mad. Yeah, I think all of us. I had a little job in Melwood at the time.
Yeah.
Obviously working in a canteen, and that was the week I come in, and he got injured, and he was walking around the place. Of course, he was frustrated, and even me going in. It was a time when Brendan Rodgers. I got introduced to the Liverpool team. I only had like one shift there, but it was when I was doing my catering and that. And Brendan, give him his due. He was sound. He introduced me to the whole Liverpool table. Suarez, Stevie, Skirtle was there. It was like, and I had a bit of a mad haircut at the time. And Rodgers said, "You give Martin a good one for his money." And Big Al Martin just turned around. I was like, probably the most scariest Liverpool player known to man. Anyway, I was like, but he's seen the funny side of it anyway. But yeah, it was that's it. Period, mate. Spot on. It was a difficult game. Like that cost us. Doug, can you do it, Arsenal? It's going to be such a difficult thing to do. I anticipate City just to steamroll Arsenal, especially off the back of the Southampton result. I can't see anything more than a Manchester City win, an emphatic Manchester City win.
I think Arsenal are now starting to show cracks are starting to appear. I honestly think we broke them when they were at Anfield. I think we broke them completely. I think Arsenal were very, very lucky to get away with a 2-2 draw. And against West Ham, it was same old mistakes again, just not tracking the runners. And we all know that my thoughts on Aaron Ramsdale. I think Aaron Ramsdale has a very, very good season. But I'm sorry to Ross and anyone else in this chat, but he is one of the most overhyped goalkeepers I think I've ever seen. There's just some things he does which you're like, really? Like, he was a goalkeeper that went to every single club he's been at, he's been relegated. Now, obviously, we know that Arsenal are a club to get relegated and all this, but I think he deserves his flowers for the Liverpool performance. But West Ham should have said Bowen's shot, and he should have done a lot better for the Alcaraz goal the other night. But Arsenal are starting to show just little signs of
weakening,
bottling it up. Yeah. And I can't see anything other than a Manchester City comfortable win on Wednesday. Might be wrong, of course, but I think the fact that they know that 5 points is not a comfortable margin to say the very, very least. But City do have 2 games in hand, and if they win them both, they're I think 2-3 clear as well. So I'm going to say that I think City win this comfortably. I'm going to go 3-1 City.
Kev, chat, get your score predictions in. Let us know the big game on Wednesday as well. we'll be watching the Liverpool game, but I'll have double Z. I think we'll all have both games on at the same time. I'm gonna go 4-0 City. I know that's probably a bit mad, and I think I'd love to be proven wrong, but I'm gonna go.
It might be one of those mad games where it was. Remember the 6-3 game?
Oof,
Remember the 6-3 game that they had, where like City score, Arsenal score, City score, Arsenal score, then obviously City go on, and I think they were 3-1 up at one point, and then obviously it goes to 3-2, 4-2. It could be that kind of game. It could be that kind of game. City are not the best defensively this season. I mean, it is safe to say, but Arsenal without Saliba, I'm really, really worried for them because I'm not sure Rob Holding is what people think that he is.
Yeah, shout out to Rob Holding's hairline. I know I can't speak much, but I think he looks like he's somehow it's a bigger comeback since Liverpool in the Premier League under Klopp. Like it's like saying there's a couple of players when was it Martin Skater with hair, Kev? Like in a couple of players, and you're like, they've always used to have a skinhead, but like now, like it's amazing when you paid like 100k a week, innit?
Martin Skirtle looks younger now than he did when he played for Liverpool.
Thiago with hair is very strange.
Yeah, that's what
that is weird.
Yes, very strange.
Yeah, he's a good-looking fella, isn't he, Thiago? He can rock anything. Probably a Mr. Blobby outfit if he wore one as well. So, Kev, did you give a score prediction?
I didn't give a score prediction, but I'm just looking at the desperation. I don't know. I'm looking at the desperation in the game. I'm looking that Arsenal have had a poor run of results. I'm looking at City have played well recently and had a good run of results. And then I look at the previous. It was 3-1 at the Emirates earlier in the season. They also knocked them out of the FA Cup. And then I'm thinking, there's no way they're going to do all the games over them again today. And this is why I'm thinking that I don't know if Haaland's on form, they're winning 3 or 4-0. If they can keep Haaland quiet, and and somebody like Mara starts or somebody like that in the game, then I think Arsenal could probably pull a draw out of it. But it's a tough ask. Look, Arsenal want to go for the league. If you're going to go for the league, you're going to have to beat City home and away. If you can't do it at home, you're going to have to do it away, and that's 4 times as hard. So they're going to have to step up and do it. You're going to have Thomas. The problem with Arsenal is that Thomas Partey has disappeared from in the last couple of weeks.
Last couple of games, he's been a shade of himself.
He has. And he's been a shadow of himself. And Odegaard has still been consistently good. So like he needs to step up and help him or get back to his form. If he gets back to his form, then Arsenal are okay. Xhaka needs to keep his head as well because he's starting to look like a bit of his old self, really. But Doug is right. I was going to say the same thing. I think Liverpool broke him. Because you've seen the Arsenal you've seen all season at the start of the first half for that first 30 minutes. And then when we started coming into the game from that point onwards, they looked completely shaded of ourselves. And we completely dominated that second half. We should have won it by even 2 clear goals, really. So, for me, Arsenal desperate to get out. I'm going to say a draw just to give this league a bit of hope because if City win it now, and catch up that
they're winning everything.
They're winning the league by 9 points, and then nobody's going to care anymore. So I hate not losing passion for the league, man. But you have to stay in it to be able to win it. If Arsenal don't stay in it, then it's another farmer season, really.
I know the excuses. I know there's in the comments, but not us, but certain sections of the Arsenal fan base giving stick to a certain Jurgen Klopp over the last couple of years about excuses and injuries and all that. And it's mad how when the shoe's on the other foot anyway, that these excuses are now acceptable from their own manager anyway. But what can you do? That's football fans. As Russell said, we ain't beaten City as well. There's a couple of mad scores. Gary's won 7-0. One surprised me with City, Gary. Obviously, Scout's gone 4-1 City. Everyone's going City by the looks of it. 1-1. Interesting name, and that will be good for the league. Obviously, agreeing with Kev. Daz has gone. I'm guessing that's 3-2 City, potentially. Carl's gone 4-4. That would be a Premier League classic, that, Carl. I think we'd all love that as a neutral. I'd be disappointed for others, especially us Liverpool fans. Especially if we're watching the
Jesus needs to turn up against City.
Yeah,
he needs to turn up against. If he doesn't turn, this is his old club, man. He needs to go up and show the reason why he's joining Arsenal and why he's him and Zinchenko are going for that league. If Zinchenko's on form and getting the right balls in there, yeah, these two lads are going to be very important. And Saka needs to terrorise him.
Yeah, Saka probably put himself in the shop window if he does have a good performance. I'd love him. You know me, chat. Sorry to us, all the Arsenal fans. Post Salah, when Salah eventually retires at the club, I'd go all out. I'd break the money for Saka. I love him. The way in which he handles himself at such a young age already. Obviously, he's had his disappointing moments, especially in England shirts. Obviously, missing the penalty against Southampton. It's never easy, but what I love about Saka is he steps up. He's not afraid to take these big moments, yes, but he'll be growing into an even better player in the next couple of seasons. Martinelli, special players as well. I didn't think he had the best game against Southampton. I know a lot of people were saying he had a good game, but I think they were watching another game anyway, because especially the first half, just giving the ball away so many times. But let's rattle through all these comments as well, and then we'll go on to obviously the Poch to Chelsea, and then obviously we'll cap off the show with the Spurs sacking of their interim manager. So they've sacked an interim manager, looking like to get another interim manager. Spursy doing Spurs things, as we know.
Tim Sherwood, the rescue.
Let's get Glenn Hoddle back in the managerial seat anyway. Haaland was bossing the Champions League at 17. Haaland would be a good in any team. Saicedo is the same. He will go to a top team and be world class. He is Camavinga level. Savino Russell, he's twerking for Real Madrid. If you missed it, pretty sure you've seen his comment from Saicedo this week, more or less saying, Real Madrid, come and get me anyway. Which I don't think they will, because they've already got Tchouaméni. But especially this season, Tchouaméni's not been getting all the games. I think he's been a bit disgruntled, really. In all honesty, I thought Chelsea wanted to win trophies, but they turned to Poch, the Argentinian bridesmaid. He's a good manager, but doesn't win trophies. I'd agree. 5-2 to City. Haaland will destroy Holden. Arsenal's midfield will get schooled by Rodri as well. Chris has gone 3-2 City. When did Arsenal the last time take even a point against City? It's a good mention there, chat, or Matthias, if you know, let us know. Russell probably know anyway.
2017-18 season, I think they won 2-1 at the Emirates.
Yeah, definitely. Mr. Blobby was scary, wasting the close-up of Jack. True there, Mark. I could tell you what, if we need a bit of a couple of pennies for the Jude Bellingham transfer, like, I'll dress up in a Mr. Blobby outfit anyway. Definitely fit into that, mate. But he was scary. Were you scared of him, Kev, or Chat?
Me, Mr. Blobby?
Yeah.
Nah.
He plays a Man United centre half at the minute, like, but...
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hurry.
Harry Kane and Eric Dyer move like Mr. Blobby, especially on the ski slope or something like anyway. But big up there. But chat, Kev, we'll move on to obviously the last two stories, everyone. Obviously Poch looking like more or less it's been completed, probably been announced already as we're on air. Going to Chelsea. That's probably going to be disgruntled quite a lot of Tottenham faithful anyway, but this goes to show Levy's not really putting his foot down and getting his man. Poch shouldn't have got sacked in the first place originally, but I think this is a first time in a while Chelsea have actually got managerial appointments spot on.
Yeah, but then he's going to Chelsea, and the state of that club at the moment, he could end up becoming like Andre Villas-Boas, who was really promising manager at the time, doing what he was doing at the time, and then it ended up into obscurity, really. You'd want to see that for Poch because, you know, PSG being your only limelight really since Spurs is not a good CV. To be honest, you know, not winning any trophies there, even besides the league, I suppose. But like in the Farmers League, that's like saying a good manager went up to Celtic and won the league with Celtic. You know what I mean? It's the same bloody thing. So you might as well, you know, it's just. I mean, Neil Lennon won the bloody league with Celtic. I don't know how many times. You know what I mean? So
Steven Gerrard with Rangers anyway.
With Rangers as well, you know. So he was, which is why I always gave him more plaudits because I mean, Gerrard had to do it with Rangers in a time when Celtic were dominant and they were coming back they were still recovering from that. Their seasons being put down to the third division. So they were still kind of coming back from that kind of debacle. But like anyway, the Poch going to Chelsea could be a match made in heaven, but at least they're going for a risk taker manager rather than a player man manager, because Potter's a player man manager, and he's a guy that develops players. But when players are already developed, you don't need a development coach, you need a manager. So you need somebody to come in there and tell you what to do, and if you don't listen, you put him on the naughty step for a long time. And Poch, even though he is friendly with his players, he's fairly stern, and he comes from that ilk. So I think it's a good appointment. Maybe he can get the best out of the players, and if not, Chelsea have about 15 interim managers waiting to be fired anyway in the wings.
I was fully expecting one day Didier Drogba just to rock up and probably play. Well, they need to strike it anyway, an interim classic Kenny player manager anyway. But I think it's an astute appointment, Doug, in all honesty, in chat. Obviously, Kev alluded to there, spot on that. For me, you look at the job in which he's done at Southampton in terms of building that team. Probably I think is still to this day their highest finish in the Premier League era. Might be completely wrong, apologies if I am, but and how good of a performance, hence getting that move to obviously Tottenham. Should never have started Harry Kane in that final against Liverpool. For me, till when I'm on my deathbed, I will not understand why Lucas Moura didn't start that final off the back of, was it getting a hat trick against Ajax?
He got him to the final. Yeah, he was outstanding. He was outstanding that season. Lucas Moura, I wanted him at Liverpool actually. So yeah.
So would you say, what would you add to Poch? Do you think it'll be a good appointment? You expect him to hit the ground running? Because as we know, there's about 4 different types of sets of players at that football club currently, and they're giving out 8, 10-year contracts, 12-year contracts like it's candy.
Yeah. I mean, like basically Chelsea just pick off anything off the shelves. I've got to say, I don't really rate Pochettino as a manager. I know what he did at Southampton was absolutely fantastic. And yes, he does make really, really.
Sorry, Russell's currently celebrating. If that is the case, carry on, mate. Oh, is this Russell's mate?
I'd be celebrating as well. I don't really rate Mason Mount either, but
I've had debate with you, Kev, everyone. I'm probably the only person on YouTube that wants to see Liverpool get announced. Sorry, Kev.
No, I said the same. I take him over Keita and Knox. That is me. As like a 4th or 5th choice midfielder. Sorry.
We're in an anomaly to that, Kev.
Pochettino under Bully is going to be very, very interesting, I think, because Chelsea are going to have to get rid of players ASAP. To the amount of spending that Bully has done, I don't particularly think he's a great owner personally, and as well the fact that he's like asking that should he didn't even know that you could play with 11 men.
He wanted to play he wanted to play 4-4-3.
Yeah,
in his first interview, it was like, "Are you mad?"
He's just a typical like American owner coming into this country, thinking bigging up the game.
Doug, it's okay. I can say it for you. They're really stupid and clueless about everything outside their own selves.
It's like me, basically. They don't like cricket.
You point them to a map and they think it's something that they can put on the wall as a picture or something like that.
It's big.
Honestly, the amount of money that Bully has spent over this past 12, 18 months is absolutely ludicrous.
They're going to do it again. They will do it again, and they'll whack another 600. And that's a good thing about Poch. Everyone goes at a time, and obviously Chat's alluding to there. Poch to Chelsea, get a tune out of them. Where was he? A lot of people mentioned the job in which he did the PSG, but that's a poison chalice for the majority. I think if they would have kept Tuchel, PSG, I think they would have eventually have won the Champions League. But yeah, it's a bit mad.
And the thing is as well, the fact that he lost the title to Leo as well, when it's the most obvious, easiest thing to win. PSG have got the biggest budget, they've got the biggest backers behind them. The fact that he lost the title to Leo is a big question mark for me. I don't think Chelsea get anywhere near a title challenge next season. I really don't.
It's the thing, though, mate, and Kev, Chad, and others. Like we've spoke about the quality in the Premier League. Obviously, Unai Emery, if he gets Europe this season with Villa, for me, he's got to be up there for one of the managers of the season. In all honesty, he's ridiculous. They were in like bottom four, was it, in the Premier League at the beginning of the year? And it just goes to show the poor job Gerrard was doing with that squad at his disposal. But it's light and day in terms of the quality, Stevie and Unai. But yeah, it's going to get so much more difficult, as we know, not just this season, but next season, Kev. We've spoke about potentially in the next couple of seasons. We know, obviously, the UEFA Champions League, they probably will start going down to like giving Premier League teams 6 places in the Champions League in a couple of years. Give it a couple of time because the money's in the Prem. Even with La Liga and as the Champions League expands even more. But Chelsea
didn't La Liga agree a deal? La Liga agreed to deal with EA Sports today, I believe.
Yeah.
Am I reading that wrong?
La Liga take 20 quid off me and you, mate. Like, they are absolutely skint. Like, it's ridiculous. And I've got no sympathy for them, in all honesty, because the Premier League as a brand and as a deal, first and foremost, it's just because that we've managed the people in charge of Premier League. Yes, all of us, especially in the UK, we're spending 120 quid on TV deals when you can't even get 3 p.m. kickoffs, which everywhere else in the world can watch. I know that's the rules and the regulations in Premier League, but they need a Netflix-style package. That will be coming in the next 10 years, 100%. But, Kev, it's going to be getting so much more difficult and competitive.
The one thing I was trying to find out about... Yeah, the one thing I was trying to find out about this thing, because I normally know this, but I might have tired or I just don't know what's going on. If Man City win the Champions League and we get 5th, do we get the Champions League place?
No, that's changed.
No, is that done away with? Yeah,
that's changed.
Yeah, it's just been changed. Okay, I wanted to know that does that get done away with. So
remember that year there, Everton finished in the top 4 and we won the Champions League.
Champions League, and that was it. That's how long ago it was. Okay, so I remember that happening, but I thought they didn't get it because I think there was some sort of European qualification for another team or something to do with it winning the competition. There was 2 of us won the competition that year or something. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, Chelsea need to get their act together. At the moment, they're on the same.
They need a bloody striker. First things first. They need a striker.
Well, that's why it's. I think
Lukaku on loan, and like he's Inter don't even want him anyway. But that's Lukaku's fault. Really.
Look, I think that Lukaku could be a bargaining chip for Chelsea to get Osimhen. I think he could end up going to.
I agree with Rob's saying about La Liga. Got no sympathy for La Liga because they have no sympathy for all the other clubs. Majority of the money goes to Madrid and Barcelona. You remember the when Barcelona had that striker crisis, like every striker possible to them was injured. Oh, here you go, Barcelona. We'll give you money to go to Levante and buy Martin Braithwaite.
He absolutely destroyed that club, mate. Didn't he? Levante got relegated, did he? That season, or was it? Yeah,
I think they did. They did. And as well, name goes away from me, but the guy at Valencia, the owner, he's completely ruined Valencia.
He's destroyed it. Like he's absolutely destroyed it, and that just goes to show. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Carry on.
No, it's just the fact that I'm basically seeing Valencia in the bottom 3. Which is very, very sad. You remember the days of the Benitez days when they, won the UEFA Cup, when they won, La Liga as well. It's just really, really sad to see what has happened to Valencia, and especially with the players that they've came through in the past. David Villa, David Silva, so many good players, and it's really, really sad to see what's happened at Valencia.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Which brings us to the next stage. A new manager at Chelsea, or the first and foremost, needs to be the balance of the books before the end of June. It's going to be supermarket sweep in terms of transfer window in a couple of months. Because they'll be going, oh, you buy one, you get one free. Can you get Conor Gallagher? And then you get Mason Mount on a similar deal. I think we will see a lot of those players go to Newcastle, in all honesty, anyway. But we'll round off here anyway. Liverpool to be champions. That's the spirit, Gary, as well. Got no sympathy for La Liga. Read that one spot on there. If he buys physical players, 100% there. Bowley is doing the most of the business himself. I can't remember once seeing either of those two directors involved in any major transfers. Yeah, he flies over to like Barcelona and meets with the meal with like presidents and all that. So it's a bit mad anyway. What a deal that was. Yeah, Napoli will get Jonathan David, definitely there, Russell. One to watch anyway.
Yeah.
On a Pende chat, if you've not seen the little lad play anyway, obviously a little tricky Belgium striker. And he's one to watch. I think he's the cheap Mbappe, in all honesty. Very reminiscent. He's got explosive pace. Probably one of the quickest players in Europe. Question for the panel. What is your... Ooh, there we go. Now, Nigel getting the important questions in. Start with Kev.
Yeah,
the whole menu.
I order a special... You call me Fat Jack?
No.
Sorry.
We're all fat on this panel, lads.
Yeah, no. But like, no, I like a good Singapore chow mein with, I normally get it with chicken and prawns. I leave out half the veg and I get it slightly wet because it's meant to come as a dry dish. It is delicious. So you get the right one. Some places not too great. They make it a bit too dry, salty. And other places make it really, really nice and kind of curry-ish almost. It's lovely. So favorite Chinese dish is that, along with, actually it's not really Chinese, but I get it in the Chinese, chicken gyoza. So that's like these little dumplings. You can get them either steamed or you can get them fried, and you've got chicken in the inside and you dip them in soy sauce. It's lovely. There you go.
Makes me hungry. I like the whole menu there, chat, as you can tell. I'd go with chicken chow mein, basic, boring. I went to China and Aldi a couple of years back anyway. Their dishes are completely different to English dishes. Basically turned around and said everyone in England just puts too many chemicals in the food.
Yeah.
And just it's much better than China, but not everyone can travel over to China and eat this grand. Doug?
Oh, it's gonna be. I order prawn toast to begin with, and then it's the big sweet and sour chicken, like the big chicken balls you get. I like those as well. I like chicken chow mein as well.
There's a Cantonese style as well, isn't there? With the little chicken, the crispy chicken bits in the sauce. Yeah.
But I have to agree with you, Ken. The pork and chicken gyozas are absolutely tasty.
They're delicious. Yeah.
It's not Friday night, chat. Big up there, Nigel. It's probably the most important question anyway. But chat, get your Chinese orders in. It'll be interesting to see what everyone's favorite.
I'll take anything. I'll take anything, Nigel, as long as they hold the cat. I'll be grand. Yeah, I'll take chicken and mine.
Chicken.
Oh yeah, no, they were done for that in a lot of places. You see that because they don't care the same way. It was cat meat phone.
Well, we had that. Was it the Iceland meals had horse meat in them? Was it years ago?
That was Tesco.
Was it Tesco?
Yeah, that done for.
Sorry, Iceland have absolutely allegedly Tesco.
They had penguins. I'm joking.
But yeah, big up there, chat. Let's get to everyone's Chinese orders in the comment section below. Big up there, Henry. Big up Bri. Hope you all, matey. Rob starving by the looks of it with that emoji.
I forgot Carl's question.
What's the worst delivery company? Probably me.
Hermes.
Oh, yeah. Allegedly. Just in case. Boiled fried rice is my favorite. Coca-Cola wings for me. Are they a thing, Gary? Are they?
Yeah.
I don't want them
I know I've seen them. Probably like a soy Coca-Cola sauce. I've seen a couple of things. Some of them do with barbecue and honey with Coca-Cola, different Coca-Cola things. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to Google this now before we go off air.
They make Guinness. You know, Guinness stew and Guinness pies and all this kind of stuff as well. You know, so you get these kind of things.
Oh, fair enough, Gary. I'm gonna have to try them, Gary. So out to them.
Battered street dog and sweet and sour and too bad. You have to go to train to get it. So,
Singapore noodles and prawn curry as well. Sweet and sour pork for Henry as well.
these days, lads, I'm more of a Thai man rather than Chinese. So there's a delicious Thai green curry.
I like
grilled
the
chicken
Indian
Thai green
as
curry.
well.
I love Indian. I just had Indian tonight.
Thanks, Brian.
I had
Thanks, Brian.
I literally had a
Call
murder
me a
makhani tonight.
chav.
What's that? Who's
Call me a chav.
chav?
Yeah, no, Doug is the biggest scally on YouTube anyway.
He's actually wearing Burberry pajama pants as we're speaking. You just can't see it.
Doug's got his Scouts 110s on at the minute. So there we go. Just need to go a bit more of a longer hair there, Doug, and you'll be sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've already given my dish anyway. But like as Nigel said, beef. I like beef, green pepper, black bean sauce, sweet and sour chicken, fried rice, chow mein, and kimchi.
That's a big meal for one, Nigel.
that sounds like my order though, Nigel. That would be good. That sounds lovely.
Are you the same as me, Jack? You just order too much, and then you just end up having half of it just sitting there, and you just like, why did they just order all of that?
But and Kev, it's when you get pizza. Like if you don't throw the pizza out, you leave it, and then you whack it in the microwave to follow.
I know. I eat the whole pizza in one go. That I'm good at. But but sometimes I get a Chinese or something like that, and there'll be chicken wings that come free with it. I don't know if your Chinese do the same over there. But when you get the stuff delivered, you spend over a certain amount. They give you free chicken wings or sushi rolls or something like that with it. So I've got all of them, man. I'm sitting there going, how do I eat this? I got chicken gyoza. I've got this. I've got, I got chicken cheese rolls, and I've got, So
it's all good, Bri. It's all good, Bri. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know, Rob. It's just English being English. Yeah. We expect it's when you go to Spain or Italy, or others, especially English. When we all go on, did he sell fish and chips? No, it's like eat the cuisine in the country anyway. But yeah, Gary, I get on them, mate. I'll give you the food review, especially for you, Gary. Yeah, that'll be your first intro.
I'm looking forward to that. I know I'm going to go forward to trying some Tenerife cuisine tomorrow. Get in there and have a bit of dinner or anything. Be nice.
If you have just tuned into Anfield Road TV, this is a West Ham versus Liverpool match preview, and it's also a build-up show. It is also talking about Chelsea. Basically, you have come in to basically speak Chinese food.
It's a build-up for our takeaway.
This is Chav's kitchen. So, man. Well, that's so I find a funny thing that you have over there that we don't have over here. Savlies.
What's that?
The savlite, that big red-looking sausage thing that looks like it's wrapped in skin or something.
Yes, I know what savlite is.
Yeah, we don't get. Savlite. So we don't get that over here. That you get. And the one thing that you don't get over there that we get here, and it's delicious. And how you're not doing this, I don't know. Is taco fries.
Oh.
Do you not know what that is?
Yeah.
No, you don't know what taco fries are?
Yeah.
Completely cooked chips. No. Completely cooked chips. Then it's like chili con carne minced meat, but it's taco spiced on top of the chips, and then you get this taco sauce on top of it, and then topped with cheese, and it is delicious. Try it, let's.
Yeah, I was just wondering. Chat's saying that Gravenberg is supposedly done, which would be good. We were going to be mentioning Tottenham, but we're a minute and 20 in.
They're a fucking shambles. So excuse my French.
Yeah, that's
there goes the monetization. Oh, bloody hell!
After the watershed, we're grand.
Yeah, it'd be good.
But you don't make your channel to say it's suitable for kids, Jack, do you?
No.
Well, then you're grand.
It's like a hot dog.
Oh, yeah, you midgets.
Yeah. Talking to me, lad. I remember it. But yeah, Doug and chat. But obviously, Battlefury's lost. Getting the sporting director appointed right is necessary if Liverpool are to enter the next phase of their development in the best shape possible. Definitely, mate. Really, Ross. Interesting there, Russell. If anything breaks this evening, I'll get a short out for you. That would be lovely stuff if that's the case there, mate. As we know, sounds wonderful. But yeah, I love it. I know we're a football channel, but might become a food channel very soon as well. Once again, haggis. I've never had that.
I actually had the haggis rolls when you go to the lobster pot in Liverpool.
Oh,
They're
yes.
lovely. And I've never eaten haggis before, but like, it was just it was just tasty after a load of drink. And I bought 2 of them. I actually bought 1, came back and bought an extra 2, and I had 3 of them. And I was like, this is not going to be good for me in the morning. I know it's not. It was a haggis roll. It was haggis inside the sausage roll pastry thing. It was lovely.
Did you hear it? Did you hear about the incident in the fish shop? The fish got battered and the chips got fried.
Oh, I'm joking. I know we're finished there, but like, a bit like
dad jokes. You can always count on Doug with a dad joke.
But yeah,
Doug's practicing.
Concludes. It's been an absolutely fantastic show, everyone. A massive thank you for tuning in. We'll get obviously Doug and obviously Kev to shout out their socials. But if you haven't already done so, please do head over, subscribe to the channel, to their channels, drop a like on the video as well. Massively does help out the algorithm, gets the channel out there. Doug, obviously, what have you got coming up this week, mate? And obviously, just shout out your socials, please, mate.
Yeah, just a bit of a quick. Oh, hello. Just a bit of a quiet one, to be honest, this week, because obviously, I think I might have a post match for West Ham. I'll have that. And then the Prem Predictions Show Friday. I've got a Spurs preview on the Saturday potentially as well. But yeah, all quiet for me. But it is the Dugout Football Channel. If you like a very good Scotsman and really, really bad dad jokes, then you know the place to come.
Jack's on mute again.
Right, at least I'm not 10 minutes into the live stream. I got my mic on mute like a couple of months ago. We won't
I
talk
did that
about
as well.
it. Yes, so we've got a Scouser, we've got a Scotsman and an Irishman on the show today. We should have really got Conan on tonight. Would have had the Welsh contingent anyway. All corners of the UK covered. Kev?
Did you just say the UK? Jack, I'm going to drop kick you in the face, man, if you say it from the United Kingdom again.
It's
Oh, you said Jack, I'm sorry.
Shout out your socials, lad.
Yeah.
We'll have one of those YouTube beefs. We'll just we'll have a boxing match anyway. It'll be good.
Sorry, what did you say you wanted me to do?
Shout out your socials.
Okay. Spider LFC.
Yeah, I'll say it again. Say it again. Say it louder.
Spider LFC and the YouTubes. Me and Jack have got the kit men now. So that's going. You find me at Spider on YouTube, Spider on YouTube for the gaming, as well as Irish Spider Guy on Twitch, Spider on Facebook for the gaming side of things. The football side of stuff, Spider LFC on Facebook as well. And yeah, I'm tired now.
It's good.
Enjoy Tenerife, mate.
I'll try very much too.
I was about to with the UK.
When's the game? Is the game tomorrow night or Wednesday night? I'm after forgetting.
Wednesday.
Okay, I'm good. All right.
Far from it, Nigel, mate. You know me. I'm busy pressing buttons like I'm in the Millennium Falcon anyway. I'll be end up sending us over all the way to Birkenhead. But a massive shout out to Nigel, as always, Brian, Matthias, Henry. Don't apologise, lads. All good. Not everyone can tune into everyone's episodes. But appreciate you all. Rob, there's been that many bloody obvious anyway, everyone. So if you have missed your comments, really do apologise. Shout out to Carl. Big up to Brian as well. Russell. Orleans, Eamons. Absolute bloody legends. Lads, massive thank you for taking the time out to jump on this evening. We will be live tomorrow at 7 p.m. GMT. We'll have Jay and, of course, obviously the West Ham... Jay and Bill from the West Ham point of view, more or less, all talk West Ham. What are you saying, Kev? I'm trying to do my outro. You're going on your holidays. I'll get a bit of peace from you as well. It'll be good, that.
Carry on, Jack. Sorry,
hang on, you got to sing us out, lad. Yeah, what's he doing? Are you pretending on your holidays there, lad?
It's getting a bit of sun, you know what I mean?
The sun's got to him by the looks of it.
It is, yeah. Sorry, dear.
But chat, have a lovely rest of your night.
What's my band called?
See you tomorrow at 7. The Beatles.
Hush.
See you later.